105 won the GOAT and New Radio Sports Network after Gibraltar falls in this one 38-15. We are joined by the head coach of the Gibraltar Vikings, Mike Peck. And coach, obviously not the result that you wanted, but kind of all things considered, you get to a point sometimes in these games where you just want to make sure that your guys are healthy and ready for next week.
Yeah, we got to the start of the fourth quarter. We tried a couple things on the first couple drives just to see what we got. We knew at that point, we kind of, I don't want to say we had given up, but we knew that our chances are fairly slim. So we moved some kids around and saw what we could do and gives ourselves hopefully some chances for next week. Obviously for our kids, it's the biggest game of the year, and they're going to try and focus, and we're going to try and make some changes and come back a little bit better next week than we were tonight.
And that's probably the important thing at this point, is just to make sure that, heading into next week and wherever the season may go, that that you didn't leave any cards still in the pack, anything, left for chance. You're trying to find maybe the right combination of things that can maybe, help get this offense a little bit of a boost that is, quite frankly, struggled since Brady Keita got hurt.
Yeah, we weren't really sure, to be honest. Coming out, we had a plan. We practiced it this week. Unfortunately, we had kids at practice, not at practice some nights due to some illness going around after homecoming, and it was just kind of a disjointed week for us. We didn't really know what to expect tonight, and honestly, we knew that this United team was a much better team than we've seen in the past. They got some young juniors that aren't only be a problem this year, they're going to be a problem for us next year, so we're going to have to go to the drawing board, figure out what we can do, and for our kids, we don't ever want to give a game up, but quite honestly, for the last two that were left, for most of them, the big prize in the sky is this fastball game. It's a bragging rights game for our kids, and so hopefully we can, get a little bit healthier, get kids home. You saw I had a couple kids that weren't even here tonight, so obviously it's a sad situation. It's unfortunate for some of our seniors that they didn't probably get the best situation for the game, but we got to play when it's scheduled, and we're not taking moral victories, so we're going to go back to the drawing board and figure out how we can be more successful on Thursday night.
And what was United's offense able to do tonight that kind of gave them some success? It seemed like they were able to use Liebzeit really well. Obviously, one of the top running backs in the whole conference, and it seemed like he would just get that second level and he'd just hit another level with his speed.
They were really good. They had good their formations. Well, the formations they use and the defense we play, there's a couple gaps up front, and unfortunately they exploited some of those gaps, and we didn't quite get where we needed to be as far as our second-level players. And part of that came to, like I said, I talked to you before the game, we really didn't have that many nights practicing defense this week just due to that whole situation of the week after homecoming and kids not feeling well and not being there. So it was unfortunately the first time these kids saw these plays full speed was tonight, and you could see that they took advantage of that. And we might not have had some of the recognition we've had in a couple of weeks past as far as recognizing the plays and being ready to attack holes that we thought where the ball was going to be. And so that was kind of probably one of the biggest takeaways. It's hard. We can't blame it on the preparation, but unfortunately the situation didn't give us some of the best situations this week.
And final question for you, Coach. Obviously, you meet with your team after every game. What was the message going into this weekend and starting that preparation for Sebastopol?
Well, first thing we talked about is as far as coaching staff is we understood coming down here tonight, we were probably one player away from not playing tonight. So the fact that we made the trip and they all played hard for 48 minutes, and there's a couple of those kids that are probably dog tired right now. And so ultimately I'm just proud of the fact that they came out and performed like they did and gave it their all under adverse circumstances. And then we just talked about taking care of our bodies, hydrating, trying to stay away from the crowds, keeping yourself at home, getting healthy for next week. Like I talked about earlier, it's a bragging rights game for us. We got a lot of younger kids on this team. They're going to have to go play basketball, AAU, Legion with all those kids this summer. And there's one thing they can have is the bragging rights until next fall. So that's what we're going to focus on.
Short week. We'll have Gibraltar Sebastopol Thursday night on 105 on the GOAT and New Radio Sports Network. Coach, we'll talk to you then.
Sounds good. Thanks, Tim.
You're watching 105 on the GOAT and the New Radio Sports Network.